Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. Welcome to a thankful, thoughtful Thursday with Live It Out Inc. Come in, come in, come in. Click share, click like. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube page, do so now. Oh no, wait till after we're done and then go back and subscribe. Want to welcome you guys tonight. Do your mental health check-in. Hey, Adrian. Guys, please do your mental health check-in. You know how we try to check in each week. So ask yourself, Janan, and let me know if you guys have started your meditation strategies. Let me know if you had your balanced meal today. Did you do anything that was just for you today? So do your mental health check-in. Check with yourself. Inhale. Exhale. And let's get this thing cracking. Tonight, we have another special guest. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, as we've been saying all month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I want to give a shout out to the Hope Diller who joined us, and a shout out to Brown Girls Meditate. Thank you guys so much for joining us this month. You were awesome. Yes, Miss Carol, yoga, that's something I'm really trying to get into. So, I have another special guest, another amazing sister who's going to join us. She is a mental health advocate and she has an organization and she's going to tell us all about it. So, without further ado, remember your time is your most precious asset. We don't want to waste it. We want to fill it with resources, knowledge, and power. So, Miss Abbey, I want you to come on from backstage.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you? First of all, that was a fabulous introduction. I was getting hyped backstage.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we have to keep each other inspired and motivated and energetic. So, say your last name for me.
That's actually my middle name. It's Perelador. It's Nigerian. Yeah.
Oh,
My last name is Johnson. So
okay.
normally people are like, what? Johnson? Is that, that's Nigerian? But it is.
So, Abby, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, before we get into our dialogue, I just want you to tell the viewers a little bit about you and what you do.
hmm So first of all, thank you so much for having me, Janice. It's a pleasure. I love everything that you are doing with Live It Out Inc.
Thank you.
I think these conversations are super important, and I just thank you for creating this platform to have these, to have the dialogue. My name is Abbey Prelador Johnson. I am a daughter of God. I'm Nigerian. I am a daughter to my parents. I'm a sister, stranger, neighbor, friend, mental health advocate, a passionate public servant, and so much more. And I am just very passionate about mental health. I started my or business, Live Without Apologies. It's actually been on my heart for over 5 years, but I started it in January of 2021. So, Live Without Apologies aspires to inspire everyone to live life unapologetically on your terms without judgment or validation from others. And the sort of the impetus behind that was that I realized that in my life, I had been pressuring myself to live my life, according to how other people wanted me to live. So, there's a lot of pressure on all of us from
Mm-hmm.
society, from our families, from the media, from friends, from strangers, from
Yeah.
celebrities. We're trying to like live this ideal of success, of beauty, of acceptance, of what have you. And I was also in that rat race. Sometimes I still am in that rat race, but I was like, it caused me a lot of stress, anxiety, depression. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm not being true to myself. So how can I, rethink, reframe my mind to live out my authentic truth? And that is where, Live Without Apologies came from.
I love the name. I love it because we're all striving to live our lives without apologies. I'm not apologizing for who I am, how I look, where I come from, what I'm doing. I'm trying to revamp myself and live my best life. And I can't apologize trying to meet somebody else's standards and needs. So, yes, we do have to live without apologies. Now, Abby, tell us a little bit about your mental health journey. Like, how was
Mhm.
this journey for you?
Yeah. Well, so personally, at my mental health journey, I would say it started back in 2019 was when I realized or came to the acceptance that I, suffered from anxiety, depression, and I really needed to do something about it. I went through a really bad breakup, and that breakup, it just, really affected me. I was very depressed. I had put a lot of my energy into the relationship and my identity. That's a better word. I put my
Yeah.
identity into that relationship. Like everything I did was about the relationship. I had been planning to marry this person. And I was just like, when the relationship ended, I was like, who am I? Like, what do I do with
Yeah.
my life now? Which looking back, I was just like, why? It was, and not even about the partner. It was me. Like, I wasn't secure in my own identity. So that I fell apart after that. And I like didn't eat, didn't sleep. I was crying all the time. I was a hot mess. Um, I went to a therapist at one point, and that, I did one session and I was like, this is not working. I need to do something. Thankfully, at that time in my life, my job that I was working at offered me the opportunity to physically relocate for a short-term assignment.
Okay.
And that helped me to get out of that slump. So I was in Atlanta at the time. I'm originally from Jersey, but I have family in Maryland. And I was working at the Centers for Disease Control. And they were like, oh, there's a position, a short-term position that you can do in DC. So I was like, oh, this is great. It'll bring me closer to my family. And also I can just, start fresh.
Start fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what started you on your journey and pushed you into depression and anxiety, and you felt like, hey, I gotta get a and sometimes I gotta get a grip. But then sometimes you have to remove yourself out of the whole situation,
Right.
like leave the city, leave far away. Because when you lose your identity in somebody,
Mhm.
that is very powerful. And you
Right.
have to regain that identity back. Like you were saying, you were searching for, like, who am I? What am I supposed to do now that you're not with me, now that you're not by my side and you support me? I feel you on that. I've done that where I
Yeah.
poured so much into a person that I lost myself in you, trying to motivate and inspire you, that I forgot who I was. And
Right.
then, like you said, when the breakup come and them tears and you got all that extra time on your hand, you be like, wait a minute, who am I? You looking
Yeah.
around like, who am I? All this, I giving you everything, and that can be very painful. Oh my goodness, been there. So, on your mental health journey, what do you do? What are some of the things that you do to try to keep your mental health balanced with
Right.
everything that you got going on? Because it sounds like you're moving around a lot. You got new jobs coming here and there. You got a business to run. So,
Right. Right. Yeah. So let's see. Well, first and foremost, I am growing in my relationship with God. So I think that when I had that question, right, who am I? I have always had strong faith, but I think my faith fluctuates, and I think it's normal for anyone. But like this last severe, and we can get into this later. My second, like mental health break happened during the pandemic. But to get myself out of that second mental health break, I reconnected with God and, have now established who I am as his daughter. So that is how I introduce myself. Like, that's the first thing I say about myself, because I have to constantly remind myself, right? Who am I? When the world tries to create a narrative of me, Abby, um, I am pushing back. I'm challenging that narrative, and I'm a child of God, and I am XYZ. Like, that's my intro, because I had to say, who is Abby? So first and foremost, I pray, I listen to praise and worship music. I go to my church, Union Church, whenever I can, or watch virtually. Yeah. And then I also had to remind myself of the things that I like to do for fun. So I love to go hiking. I love to go running. I love festivals. I love, art. I love rooftops. I love
Okay.
comedy shows. I love doing all of those things. So now that the world is open again, outside is open. Um,
Yes. Oh,
I'm
all the way.
excited. Yeah. And I love to travel. One of my best friends, her name is Rafi. I'm gonna plug her business too. It's called Wondrous Playground. But she does like I call her like a travel concierge. She like does like amazing like group travel packages.
Okay.
And so I know. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. We travel a lot together. She travels way more than me, but I think traveling is so therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our trips are international, but you don't even have to go international. Like I like being a tourist in my own city. And I'm in the DMV. I'm in Maryland, so I have access to DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and there's so much to do in each of those areas. So yeah.
Okay, so you gave people some strategies like you pray, you worship, but you had to reconnect with God, which is
Hmm.
a major piece. And I think a lot of and I think that during the pandemic, like you were saying, it caused a lot of people to really go back and reevaluate their relationship with God. Because when you're so busy, when you're tied up in these relationships, when you lose your identity in these relationships, when you're on these jobs all day, every day, and you giving them everything you got, then by the time you get home, you don't have enough energy to spend that time with God. So now that we was all stuck at home,
Right.
you know, I was like tugging, like, hey, here, I'm right here. I'm right here. I've been here the whole time. So
Yeah.
you have to you take that time, and I think that's what happened for a lot of people during the pandemic. That they started meditating, they started praying more, they started praising and worshiping, and trying to find their way back to who you are and whose you are.
Right.
I think
Right.
that's a lot to start with your mental health. To begin your mental health journey, you need to search about who you are, where you are, who you come from, who's going to really be there for you at the end of the day, and the strength that
Right.
we possess within it, which is prayer. The power within us is prayer and praise and worship. We
Right.
all possess that power on the inside, but we don't tap into it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
choices.
Yeah. Or we only tap into it when we are, on like on our deathbed. Not literally on our deathbed, but like at our breaking point. We
Mhm.
tap into it when we're at our breaking point rather than like continuously renewing our mind every single day. So that's what I do. I try to renew my mind, reset every single day. It's hard. Some days are easier than others, but the first thing I do when I wake up, I listen to like a praise and worship song. Maverick City is like, who I'm listening to right now. I
Yeah.
love that album. And then I just, I try to set, what's on my to-do list, try to organize a little bit. And then just go through the day like that. But to go back on something you just said about figuring out who you are, my therapist, I also do biweekly therapy. My therapist, when I first started working with her, she encouraged me to go through this exercise. She was like, "Who are you, Abby?" And when I was at my worst, I could not answer that question. I would just cry and be like, "Stop asking me this question. Like, I don't know who I am." And she would be like, "What do you like to do?" And I would still cry, like, "I don't know what I like to do," because I had forgotten all of those things. I also like, in addition to at one point being my identity being tied in a relationship, my identity for a long time was tied to my job.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I am my career. If I'm not at the highest level in my career, what am I doing with my life? And then I was comparing myself to other people, to like friends, people that I had grown up with, like, oh, wow, well, this person, is, the CEO of, whatever. This person is running this nonprofit. This person's on TV. I ran track at Georgetown, wow, these teammates are Olympians. How come I'm not an Olympian? Like a lot of that comparison and self-doubt and just like trying to really figure out those, that's cool. that I applaud and celebrate anyone who is doing that. But why do I think that way? Why do I think that I am less than because I'm not doing X, Y, Z, what they are doing?
Exactly.
And that's when I had to like reset, refocus, redirect. No, Abby, who are you? And what are your passions? Like God gives us each unique gifts, talents, abilities, and we just have to embrace that and, reclaim. I don't who's the congresswoman who she said reclaiming my time. I
Night
remixed
and
it.
waters.
Yes, I remix it to reclaiming my narrative.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so I encourage everyone to do this mental exercise, journal when you have the time. Who am I? Write it down. I am. Bullet points. I am X, I am Y, I am a daughter. Start with your family. Who are your family members? I am a daughter, sister, brother, uncle, aunt,
yeah.
I like to do X. What do you like to do? List it all out. I am passionate, these things bring me joy. I like plants. You see them in the back, I
Yeah.
like flowers. I like hiking. I like spending time with my family and friends. I like traveling. Really identify who you are as a holistic individual. And then you can begin to craft your own story of like who you are. And I think a lot of the mental health, well, disclaimer, I'm not a practitioner. But what I recognize in the friends that I talk to and speak with, a lot of it is just like, I don't know my purpose,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of probably the thoughts that we had during the pandemic. Like, what if I died tomorrow, which was at one point very likely, not likely, but something that was all on our minds. Like,
Was
am
my
am I gonna get
am
COVID?
I gonna get COVID?
Yes.
What?
If I
Yeah.
yeah, if I die tomorrow, um, what what legacy do I want to leave behind? And not that I have to do something grand, but I want to be known, for me, this is what I've decided. I want to be known as someone who spreads joy, who is a light, who, is someone who is giving back and just positive energy. And I feel like if we each had that mindset, like the world would be such a better place.
Yeah.
One of my favorite motivational speakers, his name is Les Brown, and
Yeah.
he talks about, he gives like the graveyard analogy. He's like, the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And
Right.
you're like, what? The richest place in the world is the graveyard? Yes. That's because everyone who had a dream on their heart and took it to the grave with them, And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh crap, like I don't want to take my
Yeah.
dream to the grave. So I can have my career and still be working on my side hustle, and still be
Mhm.
working on my business. I can have my career or my whatever and still be, you know, going to festivals and
Exactly.
still be, my next post is going to be like, I'm multi-dimensional. Don't put me in a box,
Don't
right?
put me in a box. Yeah, you got to
Yes.
put me in a box.
Yes. I feel like, for me, I work in the corporate world. I work for the government. I just got a tattoo. I don't know where's that. Right here. Yeah, on my arm. And then my mom was like, "What is this? Like what? You work for the government." And I'm just like, so I can't have a tattoo. She's like, also, the scripture says, don't mark your
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah,
body.
yes, I know.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm blabbering.
No. Questions too. You actually have two questions. Um, they they want you to repeat what you said about the who I am.
Oh, you
Who
mean the
am
exercise?
I? Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So the exercise is and it can be, I say, if you are just beginning journaling, do this for 5 minutes because some people get intimidated by the thought of journaling. Um, but just like write on a piece of paper, first start with your name. My name is, I am Abbey Johnson. Then I am, list I like to start with family. I am a daughter. For me, I'm a daughter, sister, aunt. Um, and then what do you like to do for fun? I like to XYZ. And then I am passionate about, what are the things that bring you joy? And then that'll help you right? Narrow down who you are as an individual, or you are crafting your own identity. So when people ask you, what do you like to do? Who are you? Whatever, you have that in hand. And I like to say, do it free thought. Don't think too hard about it. The first thing that comes to mind, I like to twerk. I like hip hop, I like I like these artists. You can even get as detailed as that, who is bringing you inspiration, because then you can start to, include that. For me, it's Issa Rae, it's like Lovey, it's Yvonne Orji, it is Viola Davis, it's like Tamika Mallory, like, I like a bunch of different people.
Exactly.
Obama.
Yeah.
But where do you gain your inspiration from? What books am I interested in? What topics am I interested in? What TV shows do I like? And then what things are preventing me from being my best self? List it out. Because if you don't list it out, then you can never name it, and you can never fix it. For me, what things are not allowing me to be my best self at the time, I think I was like medicating with alcohol. Not that I was like an alcoholic, but I always had like a glass of wine. I was like drinking wine to go to bed, because I was like, I can't sleep. I'm just gonna, have my nightcap. And I was like, why do I really need this glass of wine?
Yeah.
Not knocking that, because I think, a good cab is sweet.
Don't knock the wine.
Right. But do I need it every day?
Yeah.
Is it really is it helpful for me? Do I really need to be watching X, Y, and Z every night? First of all, I'm into politics. Like, my friends are like, stop, enough. So I was watching like CNN every night. I'm like, wait, why am I watching this? Like, this every single night. Let me turn on Family Feud. Let me turn on something light. Yeah. So, just identify areas in your life that you can say, and pick like one or two things. This week I'm going to work on not watching, CNN every night. I'm going to work on drinking more water. I'm going to work on, set goals for yourself that you can try. I would say give yourself grace, that you can try. I'm doing another plug. I am partnering with my friend Marika's catalog on Instagram, and we created this 31 days of our mindful love challenge, because her platform is all about self-love, and my platform is all about mental health. So we found each other, soul sisters. We connected on Instagram, and we were like, let's do a collab. So we got together and created this calendar of 31 days of mindful, like different practices that you can do. To be honest, I don't know what's on the calendar for today, but yeah. But this week, last week, I think it was like, say no to something today. Also, make a gratitude list, make a self-love playlist. That was this past weekend. Buy yourself flowers. So we wanted our calendar to be unique in the fact that we wanted to go beyond like get your nails done, pour yourself a bubble bath. So not knocking those things, because I think those are very important as well. But we had other things like, delete all negative people that you follow on social media, because clear them all out. Explore. I'm all about exploring your city. So we're like, explore a new neighborhood in your community, volunteer. What else? It's on Marika. Everyone go follow Marika's catalog. Also, she just came out.
Because I actually want to see that calendar.
Okay, yes, I will. If you go on my page, I will, after we talk, I will repost the calendar. But Marika also just came out with a self-love guidebook, workbook. which is
Wow.
awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
So check that out too.
Okay.
Hmm.
You got another question?
What are some holistic? Oh, that is a great question. And I don't have an answer for you because I don't do holistic meditation. Sorry, Yvonne. I I guess my form of meditation is really more so breathing. Um, yeah, I don't have a good answer to that question. I do know that a lot of people have found the Calm app to be very helpful.
Yeah.
And then holistic meditation.
You
Um,
were saying something earlier about holistic, something you said earlier, and I think that kind of jarred
mhm,
her to ask the question about holistic meditation. But
mm,
I will find out for you, T. I will find out.
yeah.
Actually, go to Brown Girls Meditate.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. There are also, products that people like CBD.
yeah.
Um, it has been shown to be, helpful in alleviating anxiety, and stress. And mm, one of my classmates from high school, I'm like closing my eyes because I'm trying to remember what the name of her brand is. I think it's called the Be Better. Her name is Brittany, and she has like the Be Better company. I can also send it to you, Janice.
Okay.
Um, and her products are all like CBD natural. She has like butters, she has chapsticks, she has
Oh.
um what else? Oh, she has like oil, intimate oil.
Okay.
She has a whole bunch of stuff. And then my other friend, her name is Lauren. She has Inflection Point Wellness. We also did a collab. And she has, handmade organic like candles. She has room sprays. She has, and some of her candles have these like really beautiful crystals in them. They smell fantastic. Like I would highly recommend them. And the aroma that fills the room for me is just like, oh, like, it just puts you in a good place.
Okay.
So I don't know
So
if that's
some
holistic.
of
Hmm?
so some of those are good for meditation, like when you.
Yeah. Like you can rub the creams on and then do your meditation. Before you prepare for your meditation, you can light an Inflection Point Wellness candle. I'm just like lifting all my sisters up out there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a big one. That is awesome. That is so awesome. On your mental health journey, did you see? Did you have to use an accountability partner? Did you kind of go at it alone, or was
Mm,
it a conversation that you chose to have either with your mom or your pastor or somebody that's very influential in your life? So how
yeah,
did you start it?
that is a great question. And I'll try to answer it in like two ways. Okay, so first, I mentioned I'm Nigerian. The
Okay.
mental health conversation for anyone who is an immigrant child, not even Nigerian, just Nigerian. The mental health conversation, maybe for a lot of us, but it's a lot more difficult in an immigrant household. Um, so I didn't really talk to my parents about it. My sisters, on the other hand, they understood and they were my accountability partners. So I like leaned heavily on my sisters. I would like call them every day. They like encouraged me and supported me to go to therapy. Now, my parents are very supportive now, but I think it took them a while to come around. Also, my friends, my friend Wanderer's Playground, her real name is Rafi, but I'm just gonna keep plugging her business. My friend Rafi is also like a huge accountability partner. And then one of my girlfriends, Caitlin, is the one who really encouraged me to go to therapy. Um, she actually, looked up the therapist for me because I did not want to go. I was in denial, not denial, but I was just like, I'm embarrassed. I don't
Oh,
want to go. I'm ashamed. I'm supposed to be the strong friend. Nothing's wrong with me. And she's like, you're not getting out of bed. Every time I call you, you're crying. You're refusing
yeah.
to work. So I love Caitlin. She like one day was just like, hey, Abby, like, here's the list of therapists. I called them all. They accept your insurance. This one, I know. She was like, do you want me to go with you? Like, this one focuses on anxiety, depression. This one is like 2 minutes from your, like, she like did all the research for me. I was like, wow,
Wow. Yeah.
you're amazing. You know, that type of friend, that type of accountability partner. And then, I will say like my MILT. So I went to a boarding school, and there's like several friends like Lethea, Caitlin, Keisha, Crystal, Niani, um, Angela, Ariel, Sama, Rachel. Like I can name them all. They're all very supportive. We had like a WhatsApp group. And then I have like an inner circle from CDC who we connected when we started like a fellowship in Atlanta. We
Okay.
also have a WhatsApp group, and I think we call ourselves, like, it's really corny now, but we should probably change our names. We call ourselves like the Glam Girls or something like that. But we are just there. We support each other. I would call them, it's like Turquoise, Valerie, Alia, Nina, Sandy, Jasmine, Angela, and all my friends. You know, we are game changers. We are like killing it in life, but we
Yeah.
also recognize that we are dealing with some real, I'm having friends. I have friends now who have families, so they're dealing with that. I have
Exactly.
other friends who are entrepreneurs, so we support each other. My friend Angela is the like co-founder and now executive director of Black Mamas Matter. So she's like
Wow.
leading that national organization,
Yes.
killing it. And, so but we recognize that even this, we're doing all of these things, but at the end of the day, you are still Angela, you are still Turquoise, you are still Rafi, and you have real things happen to you, So I think what I love about each of my friends' circles is that we still see the human in each other.
In each other.
No matter how big, big, I put big in air quotes, any of us gets, or, how quote unquote successful, or, wherever we end up in life, we always return back to each other. Like if we don't have to physically see each other, the friends that I was just mentioning, we have all dispersed, left it. Most of us are no longer in Atlanta, but we are still connected, and we're still supporting each other, from afar, even before COVID, because we recognize how important relationships are.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just so thankful for all of, I could list, I'm sorry, also, any friends who are watching, if you're like, Abby, you didn't name me. I'm like, oh, sorry. Oh, wait, I know Ada, Nancy, Christina, my cousins, Elizabeth and Boomy. And then my guy friends, I keep forgetting them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Dina,
it's important
Travis.
to have that tight circle
Yeah,
to hold you accountable and
right.
not just tell you what you want to hear, but they can
Right.
give you like a reality check, or they can bring you back. Okay, you're not sounding right today, or I was following you and you said something and I'm checking up on you. You the strong friend, but strong friends need to be checked on also.
Right.
So that works.
Yeah.
What if you don't have all of them? Because you got a lot of people.
So I named all those people, but I only told maybe three of those people initially what was going on with me.
Okay.
So, now they know because I'm like loud about it. And they're all like, oh my goodness, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me you were going through this? And there's an organization that I really love. It's called the Mental Health Coalition. They have a campaign out now. It's called 1-to-1, which, answers that question that you just posed. What if you only have one? What if you don't have a lot of friends?
Yeah.
And their thing is, as long as you have one person, who is that one person that you can go to no matter what? It doesn't have to be a family member. It doesn't have to be a friend. It can, like, what about your Instagram community? Your social media friends. Have you connected with someone that you trust, that you can go to? As long as you have one person. Now, I will say that there are levels to this mental health stuff.
Oh,
So, sometimes you can go to a friend, sometimes you need to go to help. Because
okay. Yeah, I was gonna get to
yeah, 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 because the friend, we're not most of us in this world are not practitioners. And if you recognize that your friend, to anyone who's listening, if you recognize that your friend is going to hurt themselves or others, I don't know if you have the suicide prevention hotline.
yeah,
Um, yeah, or call the cops on your friend. Not well. I don't know. Sometimes it's you gotta just help them because you don't want to be the one that's responsible. Um, Not responsible, but
but you
you don't
don't
want
want
to
to
feel
carry that weight that
right, right,
was
right,
your
right,
fault. You
right,
don't want to feel like it was your fault, so you don't want to have that resentment or that regret. Like, I saw it, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't say nothing. So
right.
if you have that friend that's in that severe mental health thing, like we talked about this. We talked about this before, recognizing the signs, or knowing when you think your friend may be suicidal, or hurt themselves, or going to hurt themselves, or something like that, where they need professional help. And you can call the police, but you have to ask for the mental health advocate,
Yes, yes,
police.
yes.
So yeah, you can call
Right,
the police
right,
for help, but you
right,
got to let them know that it's a mental health situation,
right,
so that they can get them where they need to be. Because sometimes, and rarely, but it happens. Sometimes that person needs immediate help right then, right there. They need to be walked into a facility so
right.
they can get seen about professionally and personally. As much as we want to help and pray and cry with them and hold their hand, we may have to pray and cry and hold their hand, taking them to that facility to get that professional help that they need. So
Right.
keep that in mind too, guys. When we're talking about being accountable, holding, or being responsible for our friends. I am my sister's keeper. So are you really your sister keeper? So if you're
Right.
gonna be your sister keeper, you have to be your sister's keeper. So
Right.
understand that.
Right.
But
Can
Abby, go
Sorry, can I add one thing?
go ahead.
Yes, if you're gonna be your sister's keeper too, also recognize when they need space.
Ah,
So I know those signs too. I'm like, oh crap, I haven't heard from you in a while. And I will hit the person up and then I get mad. Like, oh, they're not responding to me. They're ignoring my text. But since I have now been there, I get it. So now what I do to my friends who I know that they need space, I'm like, you are on my heart. I'm thinking about you. I just want to make sure you're okay. You don't even need to respond. Can you just like the message? And that has worked, like, okay, you liked the message, no words or anything. That means that, I'm doing okay. I just need my space. The other thing that I've started doing with my friends is like, the questions that I ask, I always say, ask how they are doing. Also ask, and my boyfriend Reggie does this to me all the time, how can I help? How can I be a resource? What can I do to
yeah.
support you right now?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, those are really good questions. And if I'm going through something, I always ask, I have something heavy on my heart. Do you have the capacity to listen?
Oh,
Because you don't know what someone else is carrying. And I never want to, I always was like, I don't want to tell people because I don't want to bring my whatever to add on to what they're
to
feeling.
what you're already going through. I want to add my
Right,
burden to yours.
right, right. And some of my friends are like, no, but then I'm like, no, because I know you're going through that and you're still like, yeah, let me listen, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
So, so now I'm just like, and I started to do that. And I think it's worked great for my friends circle because some people are like, no, I don't have the capacity to hear it right now. And I'm like, okay, great. Because I don't want to bring that to you.
To you, and you're not ready to listen, or it's not going to be a genuine conversation. You're going
Right.
to kind of brush me off a little bit and half listen, half respond. So that doesn't
Right.
help either. But that friend has to be honest enough to say to you, I don't really want to hear that right now.
Yeah.
Hear that right now. Can you hold on something? Can you call me back? I'll call you when I think I'm ready to talk to you like that. Because
Right.
when you need somebody to hear you, you need somebody to hear you.
Right.
Like
Right.
I need you to genuinely be there. You ain't gotta say nothing. A lot of times what I find myself doing is I just listen. I just
Hmm.
listen. I may not agree with nothing they're saying, but I will let them get it all out. And I listen and I listen and I listen and I ask. And they'll tell you, I ask them, do you want my honest?
Right.
Like, because what I tell you is going to be how I honestly feel.
Right.
Don't think you can handle what I'm going to say, then don't, I won't say anything. I just continue to listen.
I love
But
that.
I'm not that friend that's gonna just be like, yeah, okay, yeah, you right, you right, you right. I'm not a you right friend. I'm
Yeah.
that friend that's like, I don't know about that. You probably need to rethink that. Or you shouldn't have said it like that. That's why they did you like that, because you shouldn't have said. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, they ain't right. They ain't have to do you like. No, I'm the one to kind of pull your coattail and kind of let you see your flaw. And I always say this to people: don't expect you and somebody and everybody else.
Right? Yes.
To
Yes.
respond. So you gotta
Listen.
know that know thyself.
Mm-hmm.
That's going back to who am I?
Yes.
Self, and know who you are dealing with. So you got to know your friends, know the people that you communicate with, the people that really genuinely come to you for help or advice or support. Really know them, know that person. If you're not going to genuinely support them, then please get out of their way, because it can be the difference between life and death. Somebody can be on the edge. You'll never know what they're thinking, because you don't really know. So you got to be careful how we respond, how we treat people, how we what we tell people, because death and life is in the power of the tongue. So you got to be careful what you're saying to people, because people will literally take what you're saying to heart.
Right.
And you was like, well, I didn't mean it like that. I said it, but I didn't mean it like that. Well, you should have said it how you meant.
Right. Right. Well, oh, that's so good. That's so good. But also, I had to clarify like my brand, Live Without Apologies, because people are like, what? Unapologetic. What does that mean? Are you gonna be, not apologizing? So to your last point, like, I didn't mean it like that. I think you can always give people like one chance, like for them to express that even though you said something, unintentionally that may have hurt them or been harmful or, offended them, the person can give you that one chance to be like, oh, wow, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm apologizing, even though my brand is Live Without Apology, I'm apologizing, but now I have an understanding of the thing that I did, said, the behavior that made you feel uncomfortable, that made you, react a certain way. So now when I interact with you, I know that I'm not going to do that around you. I'm not going to say that around you, because I don't want to, I don't want to, create any tension or conflict. So if I do it again, then for me, as a friend, I'm just like, I already told you once, I told you once and you're still doing it again. How many times are you going to offer grace? Maybe 7. Maybe we can just give them the kingdom number. We offer grace 7 times and then they're canceled.
Some of them looking for it too. You be like, wait a minute now. We ain't gonna keep doing this. But this has been awesome, Abby. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Wishing you much success with Live Without Apologies. All of your friends, all of your sister friends, y'all better kill it.
Yes.
Y'all killing the game out there. So we're gonna look to follow all of them. If you put your link or their link or something on your page, how can they follow you on Instagram or Facebook or however your social media thing is?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm at Live Without Apologies. Actually, also on Facebook at Live Without Apologies. And then my website is www.livewithoutapologies.com.
Okay, so you guys got that. We'll put it in the link and live it out if you guys want to go and follow Abby and some of her other amazing sisters. I love it. God, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes, Miss Adrian, I will forever be there.
Aww, so sweet.
Ever be there.
Yes, everyone find your one. Today is actually so timely. Today is Mental Health Action Day, sponsored by MTV. So if you just Google Mental Health Action Day, you can pull up all of the resources that are available for today. Mental Health America also has a quiz that you can take to like assess your current mental health state. So there are a lot of free resources out there, and I can share them with Janice. So that
Yes, please do. Please do. Like I said, we all about getting information out, resources out, connection, networking, all of that. Anything you can share, we will post it and get it out to as many people as we can. But you have blessed me.
oh, you
You have
bless me
really
too.
blessed me. I have really enjoyed this dialogue. Thank you so much. And I'm proud of you for your journey. I am so
Oh,
proud of you.
thank you.
You're glowing. I can tell that you got the
Ooh.
peace. It's something about peace, girl. When you get that peace, you start to pop. You be like,
Yeah, yeah.
so hopefully we can help everybody get there. I want all of you
Yeah,
guys.
everyone go get a shirt on www.livewithoutapologies.com.
Okay.
I'm doing a special right now. The shirts, if you put in the code unapologetic, the shirts are 10% off. And then I'm also doing free shipping. So you don't have to pay for
Cool.
shipping. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yes, we will support you most definitely. Christina probably gonna go order hers tonight.
No, I have this. This is the new. This is unapologetic. This is in white and black. And then, I don't have the other shirts, but you'll see it on my page. It's Live Unapologetically is the other shirt. Yeah. Yes, Regina. Peace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adrian says she's starting her journey.
Oh,
Yay.
perfect. You know what? And if you guys do the I am challenge, my identity challenge, can you tag me? Maybe I'll make a challenge. Maybe I will do that,
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Challenge us. Challenge us.
Yeah.
We stressed out down here in the ATL. All right, hold your L's up, guys. This has been another amazing night. My girl Abby up in Maryland, Live Without Apologies. Go follow her. We have another connection with Live It Out Inc. See you guys in announcements before I say that. Duh. Thank you again.
Bye.
No
Just
announcement.
stay tuned for the feed.
Stay tuned. Look forward to next week. Okay, Miss Carol, go do evening prayer, boo. Thank you so much, Miss Carol. Go do your evening prayer.
Bless you, Miss Karen. Bless you, Miss Karen.
Yeah, she tried. She stayed true support to the end. Yes. All right, guys. Have another amazing week. Rest of the week, continue to live your best life. Get your mental health in check. Get your physical health in check. Your spiritual health in check. Your emotional health in check. And your finances. Go get your money
Amen.
up. Live your best life. See you guys next time. And we're out.